Shippensburg University. I'm Steve Acavino, and sitting next to me is Mark Kolodinsky. Today, the Norristown Eagles take on Moon High School in the semifinals of the PIAA state tournament. It looks to be an exciting game, Mark, as Moon High School comes into this game 24-8.
Well, the Moon Tigers are led by 6'4" senior guard Brian Walsh. He has signed with Xavier for next year, and he is the #1 threat that the Norristown Eagles will have to take care of today. It'll be James Ramsey's job to defend him. He's a premier defender in high school. Shut down Dalton Pepper, another big name from Pennsbury, and that should be a really fun matchup.
Well, the game is going to get started shortly. The Eagles are looking to get to the state finals at Penn State University on upcoming Saturday, which is March 15th. So we hope the Eagles can win this game and extend their winning streak to 32-1, but they're going to have to get past Moon High School to do that. So stick around for game action right after this break. Hi everyone, I'm Steve Acavino along with Mark Kolodinsky. If you just joined us, we're at Shippensburg University for the PIAA state semifinal matchup between Norristown Area High School and Moon High School. A lot of fans have made the journey on the Pennsylvania Turnpike today to come and watch their Norristown Eagles hopefully get to the next round of tournament play.
Well, there's a trip to Penn State, as you said, to play in the state championship game at stake. So the stakes have never been higher for the Norristown Eagles in the past decade. So we'll see how they come out and perform. They've been tremendous all season long, and it would just be a shame to see it come to an end so close to the ultimate goal.
The Eagles have been playing great basketball the entire season, and tonight should be no different for them coming into a foreign arena. It may be a little difficult to adjust to. Now we have the starting lineups for the Moon Tigers. Number 5, Kier Jeter, 6'2" senior. Aaron Johnson, number 31, freshman, 6'2". Ryan Falbo, number 33, the 6'2" sophomore. And number 2, Brian Walsh, 6'4", senior guard. And that's the lineup for the Moon Tigers. Now we have the starting lineup for the Norristown Eagles. Thunderous standing applause for your Eagles. First one, James Ramsey, number 32. Number 33, Quentin Watson. Number 1, Sheldon Mayer. Number 4, Russell Graham. And last but not least, number 5, Khalif Wyatt. And those are your starters for Norristown Area High School. And the field house at Shippensburg is rocking tonight, Mark, as we begin action shortly. Eagles, their ritual warm-up, not changing tradition at all.
And this arena was virtually empty about an hour ago, but the fans have come in, and we've got a pretty nice crowd on hand now.
A lot more than we expected turned out here, and we have to give the people at Norristown a lot of credit for making the journey. Let's pause for the national anthem. A lot of energy in this arena this evening.
On one quick note before we get started here, Paul Savage, who was listed as questionable for most of the week, will not play today. He's been playing very well in states, though, averaging 8.7 points a game in states, and that includes, in the most recent game, a 2-point effort because he was taken out early due to that injury. So it's a shame to see him have to go when he started to get hot. But Paul Savage will not go tonight.
Yeah, that injury came in the last game at Villanova as the Tigers come up with first possession here in the game, and they'll start off. Here we have James Ramsey comes up with the basketball for Norristown, and they move down court. 2-3 zone defense for the Tigers. Mayer has it, he throws it back out. Wyatt with the three early, that one was off. Ball rolls out. It's going to be Tigers possession on the arrow.
It's nice to see Khalif Wyatt come out, not at all gun shy, shooting right away, but unfortunately the shot wasn't all that close, but he'll get it going.
A lot of pressure from Sheldon Mayer. Here comes Moon. Mayer really applying the pressure, but Moon still controlling the ball. Moon still has the ball, almost lost it, but still in control. And the Eagles will get the ball traveling called on the Tigers. So an early break for Norristown.
So far for the Moon Tigers, 2 possessions and 2 turnovers.
Watson back out to Wyatt. Wyatt throws inside there. Graham gets to it, and he puts the game's first 2 points on the board. 6 minutes and 39 seconds to play here, first quarter. Norristown leads 2-0.
Russell Graham averaging 12.5 points per game in states, or in the playoffs, that includes districts, and you can see why. He can get to the basket and he can shoot.
Here comes the Tigers, and they're gonna call a foul. Khalif Wyatt is getting called on the foul. That was a non-shooting foul, so the Tigers will inbound at the baseline. Controlled Tigers shot is up. That one no good for Walsh as he misses. And here comes the Eagles. Ramsey back out to Russell Graham as again 2-3 zone defense once again for the Tigers. Back to Russell Graham. He's going to try for 3. That one was off. Watson fighting for it. Jump ball. Possession stays with Norristown. 5 minutes, 59 seconds now to go in the first quarter.
Quentin Watson keeps the possession alive. He's averaging 6.4 rebounds per game in the playoffs. And that's a huge part of his game, along with the inside scoring and the interior defense.
Russell Graham there is fouled. That will send him to the line to shoot 2.
Well, Russell Graham's been very consistent all year with his scoring. We mentioned how he was contributing in the playoffs, but also all regular season, 12.6 points a game. So he just scores every game. You can always depend on him to lead the team. He's a great leader.
Drains the first. He will get another. That one spins out. Watson, though, did get to the rebound. That one looks to be off the foot of Russell Graham. Ball will go towards Moon High School on the possession arrow. 3-0. Norristown leads at 5:53 to go, first quarter.
And their defense looks really good right now. Brian Walsh not getting a lot of good looks. And overall, they're just turning the ball over a lot. Moon will play low-scoring games. They don't like to run in transition. they like to slow it down a little bit. They don't have a very deep bench, and they like to keep their guys fresh by keeping the tempo relatively slow.
Valenzi loses the basketball, and Sheldon Mayer tries to come up with it. It's off of Sheldon Mayer, and it looks like that's what happened there. So the Moon Tigers will take over. Brian Walsh will inbound, the 6'4" senior guard. Valenzi with the basketball. Walsh has it. Ramsey covering Walsh. Walsh fights and gets down to the basket and puts 2 in, and it's now 3-2 Norristown, 5:21 to go, first quarter.
Well, they used a screen there to get James Ramsey off of Walsh, and then Quentin Watson was covering him, and Walsh has too much speed for a 6'5" center to be covering him, so he went to the basket and got the easy layup.
Can't buy a bucket. Finally, ball on the court, jump ball. It'll be Tigers' possession.
Well, they didn't quite come up with that one, but Norristown's been all over the offensive glass so far, getting a lot of offensive rebounds. And defensively, too, not giving up any offensive rebounds.
Vontae Shippen comes into the game for Norristown. Moon High School's possession. Valenzi has it. Again, Sheldon Mayer covering Valenzi. Walsh has the ball again, back out. Valenzi goes for 3. That one's up, no good, and Shippen comes up with the rebound. Here comes Russell Graham.
And if you're Norristown, you'll give them that shot. Don't let Walsh hurt you.
Shot there up and no good. Mayer with the rebound and gets 2 there. 5-2 Norristown, 4:23 now to go in the first quarter. Moon Tigers down by 3. Jeter with the ball. Graham's on him. Inside to Walsh, and a foul called.
Sheldon Mayer didn't quite come up with the steal there, but he's been harassing the Tigers, particularly their point guard Anthony Valenzi today. He's got 1.3 steals per state game, and you can see why, that aggressive nature of his as he heads to the bench to get a break.
Jared Smart in the game now for the Eagles, and that pass is broken up. Good job there by Russell Graham, and here's Jared Smart with the ball. He'll drive inside, layup's good. Nice move by Jared Smart, took advantage of the open lane.
He's got a lot of speed and a lot of quickness, a very quick first step, and a good job of finishing on that play.
7-2 Norristown, 3:42 to go. First quarter, that shot no good, and Shippen comes up with the rebound. Here comes Russell Graham. James Ramsey has the ball now for Norristown. Ramsey, patient, continues to dribble. Walsh, a lot of pressure on him. So Smart has it, he'll hand it off to Russell Graham. Graham will walk back towards midcourt as the applause comes from the Norristown fans. 3 minutes, 7 seconds now, first quarter. Norristown leading at 7-2. Travel called on Norristown. Well, they certainly held the ball long enough.
Yeah, Moon did a good job of slowing down their transition because it looked like they wanted to run a little bit, but they didn't really get any large numbers developing, so they kind of had to slow it down, and their half-court offense isn't their strongest offense. So you saw there no good results.
Here comes Valenzi once again for the Tigers. Jared Smart on Valenzi. Back to Walsh. Walsh puts it up off the glass, 2 more. 7-4 now. Norristown up by 3. 2 minutes and 39 seconds to go in the first quarter. Russell Graham has the ball for Norristown, throws it back out to Ramsey. Graham has it. Norristown Finally, Graham tries it for three. That didn't go. Ball's loose. Foul called on Norristown. I believe that foul's going to be on Jarrell Gardner.
Well, Jarrell Gardner's getting some early playing time here, and it looks like he's taken Paul Savage's role that he earned coming into states. He's getting some early time off the bench, and Norristown's a very deep team. They could come at you from all different angles.
Approaching the 2-minute mark here in the first quarter, Norristown leading at 7-4. Valenzi for the Tigers, and a foul called on Jared Smart.
Tough call for Norristown. There not a lot of contact. They've been getting a lot of calls going against them here early, but they still lead 7-4.
That's 4 team fouls for the Eagles at this point. Henderson to inbound for the Tigers, right to Walsh. Walsh back to Henderson. Valenzi has it now. Mayer on Valenzi. Valenzi still with the ball. Mayer is really guarding Valenzi. Now Graham's guarding him. Back inside, Valenzi loses the ball, but they're going to say there was a foul on the play, and the fans are not happy with that call.
Well, it seems like anytime there's been a close call, it's gone against the Eagles. And when it keeps happening like that, the fans are going to become upset.
1 minute, 39 seconds as it stands here, first quarter. Khalif Wyatt was called on that foul. Excuse me, Khalif Wyatt entered the game back, but Norristown is getting into that foul area close to the penalty. 1 minute, 32 seconds now to go. Norristown still up by 3, 7-4. Tigers with the ball still. Jeter's shot is up and short. Here comes Russell Graham the other way, powering. Hands off to Briggs, who misses the dunk. Maurice Briggs went up, but he just missed it.
Well, they tried to run in transition that time, but again, it didn't work out, and Maurice Briggs just couldn't finish on that play. Excuse me.
Under a minute to play now, first quarter, Norristown 7, Moon Tigers 4. Jeter inside, jump shot there, gets it to go.
For some reason, Sheldon Mayer was down low defending that play. I don't know why 5'8" Sheldon Mayer is down in the paint defending Aaron Johnson, a center.
Moon Tigers only down by 1, 7-6 is your score. Norristown has the ball, Russell Graham. Finally, Wyatt has it inside, and they're calling a travel on Norristown.
Khalif Wyatt is prone to traveling violations. We've seen it a lot this year. Just a tremendous scorer, but the traveling violations are there. And now James Ramsey's back into the game to defend Brian Walsh. While he was out, they had Sheldon Mayer on him, but now JR's back.
All right, Jeter to inbound for the Tigers. Here comes Walsh. Long pass picked off there. And here comes Jared Smart, but Smart loses the ball. That was in front of Smart, and here comes the Tigers. Walsh inside, that can't go. And that's the end of the first quarter. The score at the end of the first quarter, Norristown 7, the Moon Tigers 6.
And Brian Walsh with 4 points, defended in the quarter by James Ramsey, Sheldon Mayer, and then at the end of there, Russell Graham, who did a good job on him for 1 or 2 possessions, but a low-scoring game, and that's what the Tigers like. They like to play a slow tempo game, a low-scoring game. The Eagles do not. They like to run and score a lot of points. So if the Eagles want to be successful, they're going to have to play their game, and that's a high-scoring type of game.
All right, the Eagles cheerleaders come off the court now. And again, we remarked at the beginning about the nice turnout of Norristown fans. Didn't expect the amount of people that have showed up tonight. It just is amazing how much support's behind this team. Faculty and also residents of Norristown. Just great to see the fan base come out and support this team.
And it's an extremely exciting team, and it's an extremely exciting point in the season. This could easily be Norristown's last game, and if it's not, it will be their second to last game. And the stakes have never been higher, so it's just a lot of fun right now to be in this kind of atmosphere and watch this team play for everything.
All right, Norristown starts with possession here in the second quarter. And Jeter almost steals the ball away, but nice job by Sheldon Mayer to hold on to it. Russell Graham has it now off the glass for two. 9-6.
Russell Graham's now got 5 points in the game. Doing a nice job. Khalif Wyatt has not scored yet, but time and time again we've seen Russell Graham and other guys pick him up when he's not scoring.
Jacobs loses the ball for the Tigers, and here comes Mayer. He's off the glass, no good. Watson tries to get to the rebound, but Henderson was there and had taken it away. Here's Jacobs and slows the pace down, and Jeter now has the ball for the Tigers. Here's Jeter back out to Walsh. Walsh moves, throws it back out. Shot is up for two. That was actually a three-pointer. Actually, it looked that he was only on the line, but I guess he was in three-point range, so it's now 9-8. Norristown only up by 1.
The announcer said 3, but they actually put 2 points on the board, and correctly so. He was clearly on the line.
Exactly. I thought that was it from the beginning, so I thought he was way inside of the line, or on the line there.
Well, now the Eagles will be shooting free throws, and Khalif Wyatt's a very good free throw shooter, but as a team, Norristown at just 56.4% in the playoffs.
It's interesting here, especially as Wyatt makes that first free throw. There's 2 stripes there. There's a blue stripe and a red stripe. So I think they do have sort of like an NBA range type 3 here as it goes out a little bit more. And then they have the regular college and high school three-point line. It moved in the blue. Wyatt's second shot is no good here, so it remains 10-8. 6 minutes and 33 seconds to go here, second quarter. You just joined us. We're at Shippensburg University, semifinal round of PIAA state tournament. Steve Acavino along with Mark Kolodinsky. Thanks for joining us here as the Moon Tigers lose the ball. And Khalif Wyatt comes up with it for Norristown. Wyatt's almost picked clean there, but remains control. Basket and the foul. So Wyatt will have an opportunity for the three-point play as he goes back to the line.
Well, Khalif Wyatt started out the playoffs strong with a 29-point effort against Hatboro Horsham, and really hasn't looked back, averaging 18.5 over districts and states combined.
And Wyatt converts, so it's 13-8 Norristown. Walsh inbounds for Tigers. Walsh has the ball. Tigers still have it. Murphy's shot there is no good. And here comes James Ramsey. Wyatt with the ball. He'll go up for 3. That one's no good. So Wyatt's still struggling from three-point town, and here comes the Tigers.
But he's having success getting to the basket, so it's something I'd like to see him continue to do. He's drawing a lot of fouls and finishing inside.
Shot there by Jeter is denied. Possession remains with the Tigers.
Quentin Watson with another athletic block. He's made our jaws drop with plenty of highlight reel blocks on this season, and we're used to it as Norristown fans, but boy, it's fun to watch.
Walsh gets 2 there and will go to the line as he was fouled. 13-10 now. Norristown up by 3. 5 minutes and 26 seconds on the clock, second quarter. But first, Walsh will go to the line and shoot his foul shot.
Brian Walsh, the heavily recruited 6'4" senior guard, has chosen Xavier.
Walsh gets the friendly roll, and it's now 13-11. Norristown up by 2. Russell Graham. Back out to Ramsey. Ramsey, he'll take a shot there. Nice shot. Nice look for James Ramsey. 15-11. Norristown, 5 minutes, 6 seconds now, second quarter.
And James Ramsey's scoring has really been up in the playoffs, as he averaged 6.5 in the regular season and averages 7.8 in the playoffs.
Walsh with the ball there for the Tigers. Pulls up there and drains 2. 15-13, Norristown only up by 2 here. Shot there by Russell Graham. He falls down there. It was no good, but the putback from Quentin Watson is good. 17-13 now, Norristown. 4:30 to go in the second quarter. Here comes the Tigers. And Norristown will get the ball.
Offensive foul called.
It's Dan Murray's first foul of the game. Team 4th for the Moon Tigers. Here's Russell Graham once again. Khalif Wyatt, James Ramsey back in the game for Norristown. Jared Smart now with the ball. And back to James Ramsey. Bounce pass inside. And Watson could not get to that one. And it'll go back to Moon High School on the possession arrow.
Not a good pass, and Quentin Watson tried to haul it in anyway, instead of just getting in front of it. And bad play on both ends leads to the turnover.
Brian Walsh will inbound. Long pass finds Valenzi at the other end, and that one was an easy 2 as Sheldon Mayer was the only one back. Oh, that's sort of like a Chester-esque play that we saw there.
Yeah, Karan Burton torched the Eagles with that when they played in the District 1 final against those Clippers.
Shot there by Graham. That one's up and no good. Ramsey got to the rebound, though, loses the ball, and Walsh comes up with it. Mistakes are starting to creep up on the Eagles. Shot there by Walsh is no good. And the Eagles regain possession here as Khalif Wyatt makes his trip down court. Mayer with the ball, back to Briggs. Finally, he rests into Russell Graham's hands. Back to Ramsey. Now Wyatt has it. Wyatt, nice pass there to Briggs. And Maurice Briggs comes up with 2. 19-15, 3 minutes and 3 seconds to go in the first half.
Good team basketball there. Great assist from Wyatt to Briggs. And more backcourt pressure by Mayer applied on Valenzi.
And it paid off because Wyatt came up with the steal. And here's Russell Graham, fouled. Will get 2 shots at the line.
Well, as we mentioned, the Eagles might not be the greatest free throw shooting team, but Russell Graham is perhaps the exception, along with Wyatt. You can expect him to knock down 2 shots most of the time. Hopefully I didn't jinx him, though.
Russell Graham, his first shot is short.
And there's an interesting move by the Eagles, bringing in Juan Chapman in a 4-point game. He usually does not come into the game unless it's a blowout at the end of the game, but I guess with the injury to Savage, it's forcing him to do some different things.
And Graham misses both free throws, both short. Remains 19-15, 2 minutes and 37 seconds to go in the first half. And Brian Walsh, the ever dangerous Brian Walsh with the basketball. Henderson has it now for Moon. Back out to Walsh. Ramsey's covering Walsh. Walsh looking to make a move. Nice spin move there. Back out to Valenzi for three. He nailed that one. And that sends the Moon Tigers crowd into a big frenzy. 2 minutes and 4 seconds to go in the half. It's only a 1-point game. Norristown 19-18, they lead it. But Maurice Briggs makes it 21-18. So Norristown knows that they have to keep scoring every time they visit the basket.
An extremely close game right now at 3 points.
Here's Valenzi being covered by Chapman. Walsh has it now. Ramsey's covering him. Back inside. Travel called on Aaron Johnson, the 6'2 freshman. So Norristown will get the ball back with 1 minute and 31 to go in the half. And this Norristown crowd gets fired up once again.
The Eagles have done a good job of forcing turnovers today. And there's another example of it right there.
Ramsey has the ball. Russell Graham to Khalif Wyatt. Back out to Sheldon Mayer. Approaching 1 minute to go here in the half. Norristown leading at 21-18 over the Moon Tigers. Once again at Shippensburg University, Steve Acavino along with Mark Kolodinsky. Thanks for joining us here on NASD TV channel 28. 46 seconds now and ticking down here. Russell Graham will hold on to the ball.
If the Moon Tigers don't apply any pressure to him, he doesn't have to move anywhere. There's no 5-second violation that has the potential to be called. So he'll run it right down, and the Eagles will take the last shot if someone doesn't apply pressure.
28 seconds to go in the half, and Wyatt has it now. And boy, the Tigers are starting to apply that pressure. Russell Graham has it. He's boxed in. He gets around Walsh. Back out to Sheldon Mayer. It's 10 seconds to go in the half. Wyatt has it. Puts up a three. That one short as he had pressure. And Walsh loses the ball there as he almost had it. And that's a foul right there, no question about it, on Brian Walsh as he helps Russell Graham up off the court.
And that is a shooting foul. And it's a very bad one because Russell Graham was going to have to force up some kind of a shot because he had 1 second left. Oh, it's actually not a shooting foul, so they're just going to inbound. So with a foul to give, actually a smart foul there, because now they'll only have 1.2 seconds to get off a shot.
Inbound goes to Sheldon Mayer. No foul called there. Khalif Wyatt speaking to the official, asking why there was no foul, but that's the end of the first half. Norristown leading 21-18, and this has been an exciting first half of basketball.
It really has. It's been a close game all game long, but the Eagles still haven't been able to get their transition offense going, and that's why they're only on pace for 42 points, which would be well below what they normally do. So in the second half, I'll look for them to grab the defensive rebound, throw it down the court, and try to get some easy baskets, because that's what they do best. Fortunately, they're leading without doing a whole lot of that. So if they can make it happen, they'll really take Moon out of their comfort zone.
Again, at halftime, it's Norristown 21, Moon High School 18. Come back and join us for the second half after this short break. Hi everyone, welcome back to Shippensburg University. I'm Steve Iacovino along with Mark Kolodinsky. This is PIAA State basketball action. It's the semifinal game between the Norristown Eagles and the Moon High School Tigers. Score right now coming out of halftime, Norristown 21, the Moon Tigers 18. And Mark, the Eagles are doing pretty well out there defensively and offensively as well.
And as I said before the break, if they can get their transition offense going, watch out. Two seniors are leading scoring for their respective teams right now. Brian Walsh, no surprise, for Moon, and Russell Graham for the Norristown Eagles. And hopefully Khalif Wyatt can get going in the second half as well.
All right, both teams are ready to begin the second half. Norristown is already on the court. Russell Graham, Khalif Wyatt, Quentin Watson, and Sheldon Mayer. And let's not forget James Ramsey will start this second half for the Eagles. And the Moon High School Tigers are just coming out of their huddle now, as that buzzer signifies the ending of halftime.
Norristown beating John Bartram, Mechanicsburg, and Southern Philadelphia to get where they are today, while Moon came here through Kennan McMillan, which they won in double overtime, then won a one-point game against McKeesport, and then beat Pitt Central, who they lost to in the District 7 final.
Underway here in the third quarter. Moon High School controls the possession inside to Jeter, and Jeter gets two there. And right away, it's 21-20 now. Norristown only up by one.
I thought he traveled. It looked like he took his 2 steps and then made that hop step. But the refs do not agree with me, and 2 points for the Tigers.
Khalif Wyatt back out to Russell Graham. Graham back to Mayer. Mayer there for 3. That's no good. And here comes Brian Walsh for the Tigers.
Not a very Sheldon Mayer-like shot. His shots are all usually very high percentage open looks from about 15 feet or in. That time took a contested 3.
7 minutes, 6 seconds to go, third quarter, and Sheldon Mayer comes up with the steal. Mayer into Ramsey. Ramsey up off the glass and 2.
James Ramsey showing this postseason that he's more than a defensive specialist. He can score the basketball as well.
Here comes Valenzi, again pressured by Sheldon Mayer, who's been covering Valenzi for the entire game. 6:37 to go, third quarter. Norristown up by 3, 23-20. Valenzi under pressure, hands off to Brian Walsh. Walsh bounce pass inside to Jeter, who drains 2.
Jeter's been good down low, and Norristown's big men have been able to contain the points in the paint by the Tigers somewhat, but Jeter's done a nice job of getting some.
23-22, Norristown up by 1, 6:09 to go in the third quarter. Here's Wyatt from downtown, he drains it.
Wow, that's an NBA three right there. Khalif Wyatt showing the range.
And that gives this Norristown crowd some life once again. 26-22, Norristown, 5:50 to go now in the third quarter.
Chance of defense from the Norristown faithful here.
Walsh with pressure, hands off to Jeter. Jeter back out. Jeter once again is stripped of the ball by Khalif Wyatt. Here comes Khalif Wyatt. Wyatt inside, Mayer off the glass, that one doesn't roll. Watson comes up with the rebound, though, for Norristown. Russell Graham, and that one spins out. Unbelievable there.
That shot was halfway down for Russell Graham, and some nice passing on that possession, but it means nothing as they came away empty.
Walsh could not get the 3 there as it's off the front. Ramsey's tripped up. No call, and finally a foul there on Brian Welsh.
Well, this has been a pretty physical game. The teams are knocking each other around a little bit. And I like that the refs aren't calling a foul every time someone falls or stumbles. because sometimes their feet just get tangled up or whatever. Sometimes you have to let them play. You can't call a foul every time somebody stumbles a little bit.
Ramsey's holding his face there. I think he might have got poked in the eye, and he takes a seat on the bench. And Jarrell Gardner's in the game for Norristown. Gardner has the ball back out to Wyatt. Wyatt fakes but moves in and does not have a good look there. And Tigers come up with the ball. 26-22 is the score. Norristown leads it with 4:41 now to go in the third quarter. And Jeter has the ball now for the Tigers. Jeter back out. Ball on the court, fighting for the possession. It's going to go to Norristown. Brian Walsh arguing the call, but it doesn't matter. Maurice Briggs comes in the game for Quentin Watson.
It'll be interesting to see who the Eagles go to with Savage and now Ramsey out. Right now it's Jarrell Gardner, and as Graham lets it go out and the Eagles keep possession. But when Jarrell Gardner has to take a rest, it'll be interesting to see who they use, because they're really hurting right now in terms of injuries. Hopefully James Ramsey can come back, is that he is back out there right now. So fortunate for the Eagles.
Briggs tosses it to Graham. Back to Wyatt. 3-2 zone defense now for the Tigers. Graham almost lost it there temporarily, but Ramsey gained control. Back to Mayer inside to Briggs, who is eventually covered there by two defenders. Briggs fighting for it. And it'll stay with the Eagles. Oh, now it's going to go to the Tigers.
And the second call was the correct one. That one was a case of Maurice Briggs catching the ball, but having a foot on the baseline. There's no Moon Tiger anywhere near the play, so I don't know how Norristown would have had that ball, but the refs got it right.
26-22, Norristown leads it by 4. 3:43 to go now in the third quarter. Valenzi is fouled by Sheldon Mayer. That's Mayer's second foul. First team foul of the half.
He likes to play that pressure, in-your-face defense. And with that will come some reach-in fouls sometimes. It's part of playing pressure defense and going for steals.
Jeter inbounds. Falbo has the ball now for the Tigers. Back to Valenzi. Again, the defense chant from the Norristown crowd. Falbo has it. Back to Jeter. Valenzi for three. That one rolls across the basket. And Norristown comes up with it. Here's Khalif Wyatt. Wyatt back out to Sheldon Mayer, who drains two. Sheldon Mayer extends the lead, 28-22. 3 minutes and 4 seconds now to go in the third quarter.
That's Sheldon Mayer, always making the right decision, whether that be a pass, a shot, or whatever. He always makes the right decision out there. And because of that, does not end up with a lot of turnovers or missed field goals.
Jeter is fouled as he missed his shot. So he'll go to the line and shoot two.
Sheldon Mayer also plays great defense, and he might be one of the more underrated players on this team. Starts every game, quarterbacks this offense, and just because he doesn't put up a ton of points, I think sometimes he's overlooked.
Jeter's first shot is no good. He'll get one more. Jeter misses both, and Russell Graham has the ball for the Eagles, throws it off to Wyatt. Wyatt inside is fouled, and he'll go to the line now and shoot two.
Again, he's having great success when he drives to the basket, uses that shot fake, and then drives in and often is able to draw fouls and uses that little running jumper that we see so often. Khalif Wyatt has a bunch of go-to moves, and you see him do them over and over again, but yet defenses still can't stop them.
Wyatt puts another point on the board. We'll look to do the same on this next shot.
Wyatt coming off of an 11-point performance in the victory over Southern Philadelphia, the blowout win, 71-44.
A little in your face to the Moon fans right there from Khalif Wyatt as he makes the second free throw. 30-22 now. Norristown extends the lead to 8 with 2 minutes and 36 seconds to go in this third quarter. Brian Walsh with the ball for the Tigers, hands it off. Travel called on Ryan Falbo. Norristown regains possession, and the Tigers call timeout. And a standing ovation from the Norristown fans.
And just when I was about to say that Norristown had a ton of momentum, head coach Jeff Ackerman of the Moon Tigers read my mind and called a timeout to try to stop some of that momentum. They're on a big run right now. They have their largest lead of the game at 8, and really working on all cylinders right now are the Norristown Eagles.
I would have to agree with you, Mark, on all those points. Norristown is playing basketball that got them here to this point. Their fundamentals look very impressive tonight, and they just have to continue doing this for the rest of this quarter as well as the fourth quarter.
Well, in their last victory over Southern Philadelphia, it was actually a pretty close game for the first quarter or half. And again, in this game, Norristown played a close game all first half, came out of the locker room, and have scored 9 of the first 13 points of the half.
Though the Eagles sometimes become a little lackadaisical when they get these bigger leads, they've got to remember not to stop playing here, especially against a team that can come back in Moon High School.
And right now it's just an 8-point lead, so they have no reason to stop playing hard here at all. They can't become complacent, and they won't with an 8-point lead.
Okay, so Russell Graham throws it over to Ramsey, back to Graham. Vontae Shippen with a jumper there. That one does not go in, but Ramsey comes up with the rebound. Russell Graham has it inside to Briggs, and Briggs gets 2. 32-22, Norristown, a 10-point lead, 1 minute and 58 seconds now to play in the third quarter. And this crowd is electric right now. Walsh has it for the Tigers. Pressure from Shippen, and they call a foul there on Vontae Shippen.
Well, you never want a reach-in foul all the way out there behind the arc, but they're not close to the penalty. And using a screen, the Norristown Eagles had to end up with Vontae Shippen covering Brian Walsh. And that's a mismatch. Brian Walsh has a good chance of turning that into points. So a foul here, not the worst thing in the world.
1 minute and 38 seconds to play, third quarter, 32-22, Norristown up by 10. Here's Walsh, and that bucket's no good there. Batted away, finally, Ramsey comes up with it. Walsh goes down, and he's holding his right knee. Walsh is still down as finally the play's blown dead, and Walsh is on the ground holding his knees. Right knee held by Brian Walsh.
Well, they called a jump ball on that play, and I guess there's some kind of rule that we and the fans don't know about. But if the Moon Tigers want to stop the play, and obviously they should with Brian Walsh looking seriously hurt right now, they should take a foul and intentionally foul the Eagles.
I go back to the game, the girls' game, where Bryn Catita was laying basically unconscious, not moving on the floor, and they did not stop play. So why should it be any different here in this game? The rule is still the same. Play must continue.
As I said, I don't believe there's any rule where you can just call a jump ball like that just because a player is injured. They should, what I've seen teams do before is just take a foul, as I said, and let them shoot their free throws or take their inbounds.
Absolutely.
And then let their player leave the game. But best wishes for Brian Walsh, who's still down on the ground right now.
And you're right, Mark, unless there's a rule that we know, I agree with what you said there. Being a referee in hockey, it used to be the same thing. If a player was down, the team that whose player was injured would try to stop play somehow by covering the puck and then stopping play by doing that. So even though these are two different sports, that some of the same rules apply when the player's injured.
Meanwhile, quite a development here as Brian Walsh, the Xavier recruit and star Moon Tiger guard. Without them, this team is not nearly as good as they are with them, and they could be in some real trouble right now, down 10 and not having Brian Walsh.
Well, the score remains Norristown 32, Moon High School 22. Approaching the 1 minute mark here in the third quarter. James Ramsey controls the ball, hands it off to Khalif Wyatt. Wyatt spin move there. That one bounces, but Briggs gets back to it. He cannot get a basket there as Moon comes up with it, and here's Valenzi. Finally taken away by Sheldon Mayer. Mayer up the foul, but no basket. He'll go and shoot two.
Well, for the Moon Tigers right now, let's see who wants to step up. Because without Brian Walsh and with a 10-point deficit, this Moon Tigers team looks like they're in some deep, deep trouble. And let's see which one of these players can step up and try to keep them in the game, if any at all can do that.
And Mayer's first shot is good.
Mayer averaged 5.2 points per game during the regular season and just 1/10 of a point less than that thus far in 8 playoff games.
Mayer's second shot is also good. 34-22. Norristown, 38 seconds to play in the quarter.
Norristown on an 8-0 run right now, and they have their largest lead of the game right now. Their lead is 12.
Shot there by Falbo is no good. Henderson with the ball is fouled.
It's a tough call for Norristown. Not heavy contact there. And we've said it time and time again, and that's because the refs continue to call the small contact. And I said earlier how players will fall down and they won't call something, but then they'll go ahead and make that call. So it's kind of confusing to me why they would make that call.
Shot blocked there by Watson. Watson comes up with it for Norristown. And again, Norristown fans on their feet here. 8 seconds to go in the third quarter. Here's Russell Graham for Norristown, 3 seconds. Back out, Wyatt for three. That one's short, but at the end of the third quarter, it's Norristown 34, the Moon Tigers 22. And again, another standing ovation for the Norristown Eagles.
And they're playing great basketball right now. And again, Moon in dire straits right now without about half their offense, basically, and Brian Walsh. He actually scored 30 of their 61 points versus Pittsburgh Central Catholic last game. So I'm not exaggerating when I say half their offense. And just the star of this team out of the game and a 12-point deficit. The Norristown Eagles look to be in very good shape. Again, if they win this game, they'll go to the Bryce Jordan Center at Penn State University to take on the winner of the Chester-Pennsboro game that's going on right now at the Palestra to play for the PIAA 4A Boys State Championship game.
What an unbelievable game this has been so far. What stunning developments, as if you're just joining us, Brian Walsh for the Moon Tigers is out of the game, an injury. Not quite sure, but when he left the court, he was really holding that right knee. And boy, that's a tough loss there for the Tigers as we're ready to start the fourth and final quarter of the semifinal game. And Moon High School controls the possession with Jeter with the ball for the Tigers. And nice play there to break it up, and Sheldon Mayer comes up with it for the Eagles.
Yeah, we'll see if Brian Walsh could come back, but you want to be careful with those knee injuries because they can be really serious, and hopefully it's nothing too serious for Walsh, but again, you have to take precautions, and if they're not sure, he can't go back out there.
34-22, Norristown leads it, 7:22 to go, fourth quarter. Inside to Khalif Wyatt, and Wyatt's limping a little bit there, feeling a little tender there on that left ankle.
He tests it out a little bit and then signals to the bench that he cannot go. So Jarrell Gardner was going to leave the game. Instead, he'll stay in. Khalif Wyatt leaves the court and then crumbles to the ground. It is his right knee that appears to be, or it might actually be an ankle.
Yeah, he was a little tender on that left ankle, and that's where the athletic trainer is looking at it right now. But we're back here at action here with Valenzi for the Tigers. 6 minutes and 58 seconds now in the fourth quarter. Norristown leading at 36-22. Henderson with the ball back out to Falbo. Falbo moves inside there and is broken up there nicely, but Valenzi for the three is short. Gardner comes back with it, so nice defense there by Norristown. Gardner, and that one too hot to handle for Watson.
And the Eagles, unlike the Moon Tigers, can withstand a big injury and still be effective because they have so many different weapons. You have Russell Graham, you have Quentin Watson, Maurice Briggs, James Ramsey. They can really replace a lot of Wyatt's scoring. I mean, he's a special player, but some of his scoring is replaceable because this Norristown team's so deep. For the Moon Tigers, Brian Walsh, really they are going to have a hard time replacing his scoring with the supporting staff that they have. Hopefully Khalif Wyatt will be able to come back, though. We'll keep our eye on that.
Here's Valenzi. And a foul called on Jared Smart there.
Boy, they're really calling a lot of tic-tac fouls, if you will, on the Norristown Eagles.
Well, this is just one of those games, Mark, where their officials are going to bear down and just call everything, and you've got to adjust your game to that.
Norristown's run has been extended to 10-0. They've scored the last 10 points in this game.
And Jeter is blocked once again. 36-22, Norristown has the lead still. 6 minutes and 19 seconds to go in this fourth and final quarter. Falbo to inbound.
Russell Graham took a page out of Quentin Watson's book on that block.
And Moon High School comes back. Aaron Johnson puts two on the board. 36-24 now. Norristown, 6 minutes, 5 seconds to go now in the fourth quarter. Smart has the ball. Back out to Briggs. Briggs moves inside. Oh, he likes it there. That's Briggs' sweet spot.
He's such a great finisher around the rim, and Khalif Wyatt is over by the scorer's table and will enter the game at the next timeout. So he was testing out that leg on the bench area over there and is good to come back.
Shot there for the Tigers, no good. Rebound opportunity is put up, and that rolls, still no good, but the Tigers get the ball back. And a foul called on the Eagles. Sheldon Mayer looks to be called on the foul.
Well, it was a 7:30 start at the Palestra for Chester versus Pennsbury. And at the end of one, the Chester Clippers lead the Pennsbury Falcons 21-13.
5 minutes and 30 seconds to go in this game. 38-24, Norristown. Shot there by Falbo's up, no good. Jeter gets to it. Jeter puts in for two. 38-26 now, Norristown.
Well, now the Tigers have finally stopped the run by the Norristown Eagles, but it was really a devastating blow, that run was, as they scored 10 straight points and now have a 12-point lead and are really very close now to heading to the state championship game.
Still, Norristown has got to put all their energy into finishing this game out right now with 5 minutes and 23 seconds. It's good to see Khalif Wyatt. It looks like he'll be coming back into the game. Still looks a little bit tender there on that ankle as he comes into the game once again. But you got to kind of, I think, keep him healthy going in. If Norristown does win this game, which they're on pace to do, they're going to need him. He's a big part of this offense, as well as defense.
On that same note, Brian Walsh is back into the game. He came out of the locker room just seconds ago, and he'll actually will not start the fourth quarter, but he'll come into the game at the first dead ball. And, you know, he's not fully healthy right now, and his team has a 12-point disadvantage with 5 minutes left. So it's time for Walsh to show us the player that he really is.
Here's Wyatt now back out to Mayer. Mayer throws it back out. Wyatt, and that three is no good there. And Falbo comes up with the rebound for the Moon Tigers.
Good pass there by Mayer, but Wyatt just a little bit off the mark from the corner.
Valenzi controls the ball now for the Tigers. 4:47 to go now in the fourth quarter. And Russell Graham comes up with it. And Sheldon Mayer puts it in for two.
Sheldon Mayer's had a bunch of steals in this game, and many of them have led to run-out layups, and he's also been getting them when his teammates have been getting steals, and he's been heading out there and getting ahead of the defenses and getting layups.
Shot there from Falbo is no good. Norristown comes up with the rebound. 4 minutes, 16 seconds now to go. And again, another ovation here from Norristown's fans. And Norristown has a 30-second timeout.
That's confusing for two reasons. First of all, they're on a 14-4 run right now with a ton of momentum. Secondly, this timeout brings Brian Walsh back into the game. So it's really confusing. I don't know what exactly they're calling this timeout for, but nevertheless, they've got a 14-point lead with 4 minutes, 10 seconds left. Look to be in good shape.
And that's the last thing I would think is to slow down your momentum. Why shoot yourself in the foot and give you know, the opportunity for Moon High School to have some more time with their huddle? I just don't understand it like you, Mark. 4 minutes and 10 seconds to go in the game. Norristown leading at 40-26.
It's a confusing move, I guess. Mike Evans, head coach of the Norristown Eagles, had something quite important to say to his team. And the Eagles come back out with Wyatt, Graham, Mayer, Watson, and Ramsey. Brian Walsh has re-entered the game for the first time since his injury.
Still have to consider him a threat, and here is Russell Graham now with the ball for the Eagles. Back out to Sheldon Mayer. Graham bounce pass out to Ramsey, and it'll go back to Sheldon Mayer once again. Graham has it finally, throws it back out to Wyatt. Wyatt inside to Graham. Graham off the front of the rim, and Falbo comes up with the rebound for the Tigers. Here's Falbo, goes up, but it doesn't matter. Ball's coming back to Norristown.
A good call by the officials there on the offensive foul. The Eagles take the charge, and that was an easy call for the referees as they give the ball back to the Eagles.
All right, Sheldon Mayer now for Norristown. Pass out to Khalif Wyatt, back to Sheldon Mayer. Again, a 2-3 zone defense for the Tigers.
No reason to be in a hurry right now, if you're the Eagles right now, as they have the 14-point lead with 3 minutes and change left in the game.
Wyatt out to Sheldon Mayer, long pass back to Russell Graham. Another one of the many ovations here tonight for the Norristown Eagles. And Brian Walsh commits the foul there.
That looks to be an intentional foul, so I don't know. I guess the Moon Tigers are deciding to intentionally foul him early in this fourth quarter.
That's Walsh's third personal foul.
But now they're not fouling, so I guess it wasn't intentional.
3 minutes and 46 seconds now to go in the game. Khalif Wyatt controls it for Norristown.
If the Moon Tigers want to have a miraculous comeback, as some of their fans are filing out right now, they're going to need to get steals and easy baskets.
Valencia on Mayer, and a foul called on Valencia. You see, it's interesting there. Usually Mayer's covering Valencia, and now it's Valencia covering Mayer. It's interesting to see the difference in height there, but Sheldon, boy, he just keeps on going.
Yeah, he's been harassing Valencia on the defensive end all night, and meanwhile, he's also put up some points, really his speed showing as he's outrun the Moon Tigers defense time and time again, getting layups out in the run-out situation.
Wyatt back out to Sheldon Mayer, 2 minutes, 14 seconds to go in the game. Ramsey has it now, he's covered by Walsh. Here's Watson. Watson had 2 defenders on him. Graham, boy, the pressure from Moon High School is really coming now, and there's gonna be a foul on Valencia. It'll be a 1-and-1 opportunity for Sheldon Mayer.
Well, Sheldon Mayer, not the first guy you want at the free throw line for the Eagles right now, but Sheldon Mayer has been able to hit some big free throws earlier this year, and we'll see how he does right now. He's had a very good game, both offensively and defensively thus far.
Here's the first of the 1-and-1. That one's up and good. Sheldon will get the second. 41-26 it stands right now. Sheldon can make it 42-26 with this next shot. It's up and good, so Sheldon makes it 42-26 Norristown. 2 minutes now to go in the game. Here comes Brian Walsh. Walsh pulls up there. That one's no good. Rebound there by Jeter is good. Timeout, Moon High School.
Well, nice basket there by Kier Jeter, but I think it's a case of too little too late. Anything can happen in this last 1 minute and 51 seconds. But right now, the Eagles are in tremendous shape right now to head to the Bryce Jordan Center to play in the state championship game.
Again, here at Shippensburg University, I'm Steve Acavino along with Mark Kolodinsky. PIAA semifinal basketball action here. It's the state tournament, and Mark, again, I cannot say enough about the fan base that has supported Norristown, and again, giving them another standing ovation for the hard work this season. And boy, they deserve each and every applause that they get tonight. What a wonderful game. Let's get back to it here. And Aaron Johnson caused the foul there, so I believe James Ramsey will go to the line.
It's quite a drive from Norristown all the way out here to Shippensburg, but the Norristown fans still coming out here, as I'm sure they will, assuming they hold on, to Penn State, which is even farther away, as the free throw is sunk by James Ramsey. And I'm sure in that last time out, Mike Evans just told his team, above all things, just play smart right now. Just don't commit any stupid turnovers and make your free throws, and you're going to win the game.
Ramsey's second shot is no good. Minute 44 now to go in the game. Here's a shot there by Moon. That one is way over the basket, and here comes Russell Graham, who is fouled.
And now Sheldon Mayer comes up a little bit gimpy after making that pass to Russell Graham. So we've seen a number of players get nicked up here today. Wyatt, Ramsey, Walsh all leaving the game for a short period of time, only to come back. But now it's Mayer, and he's going to stay in the game. He'll be fine. Just came up a little bit gimpy.
And that's the last thing you want to see is your players coming up with injuries, especially in this game, going to a next level of competition, possibly as Brian Walsh makes his way off the court. And he gets applause from both sides of the crowd here, which is very respectful from Norristown's fans to do.
This will be his last game played for the Moon Tigers, as he will move on to play basketball for the Xavier Musketeers next year.
Graham makes the first shot there. He'll get one more. Graham's second shot is good. Make it 45-28 Norristown, a minute 31 now to go in the game, and here's Valencia. Back out shot there is up, and that's no good for the Tigers.
Russell Graham's rebounding has been very strong all playoffs, averaging 7.3 rebounds in states, including a 9-point effort, or 9-rebound effort, excuse me, in their last game. After the rebound, he was fouled and will go to the line for 2, as it's the 10th team foul on the Moon Tigers.
Graham's first shot is up and good. Graham will get one more here. His fans here from Norristown continue to get on their feet. Sheldon Mayer checks out of the game. Graham's second shot is no good, 46-28 Norristown, 1 minute and 9 seconds to go in the game. Ball will continue with Moon High School on the possession arrow. Russell Graham will now take a seat. James Ramsey, Quentin Watson all go to the bench.
A number of backups in the game for the Eagles to protect against the injury to their stars and to get these players some experience, as this game is just about in the books.
Move there by Jeter, and he gets 2 there. And the foul.
Well, it's been a special journey here for the Moon Tigers, just as it has been for the Norristown Eagles, so they're not going to go down without a little bit of a fight here. Obviously, the game's out of reach, but Jeter's still going strong to the basket, getting the and one. And they'll play out these last 60 minutes like it's the last 60 minutes of their season, because it is.
Okay, so the starters are also off for Moon High School, but Jeter stays in. And he misses the extra opportunity there at a three-point play. 46-30 Norristown, leading by 16, and Falbo fouls there for Moon, and that will send Norristown to the line.
Maurice Briggs averaging 5.1 points per game on the playoffs with as many rebounds.
Maurice Briggs shooting 2 here at the line. Makes the first. Ooh, that one rolling around there. Briggs did not get the second. 47-30, Norristown up by 17 with 50 seconds to go in the fourth quarter. Valencia has it, charges in. Cannot get the ball to go off the glass and in the hoop, so Norristown comes up with it. Here's Jared Smart. Smart with pressure. Is fouled.
Well, the Moon Tigers aren't just going to let the clock run out. They're going to foul and extend this game as long as they possibly can. But again, with a 17-point deficit and exactly half a minute to go in the game, the Moon Tigers have just about no shot of coming back in this game.
Bounce there on the back of the rim a little bit for Smart. It's no good.
Boy, it's nice that all these unfriendly bounces off the rim are coming with this game already in hand for the Eagles.
30 seconds it stands on the clock. We'll have the play after Smart's second attempt here from the line. That's up and good. Make it 48-30. Norristown up by 18. The shot there by Falbo is no good for 3. And here comes Maurice Briggs, who is immediately fouled by Falbo with 19.6 seconds to go in the game.
If he wasn't fouled, he would have showed us something. He can really finish. He's quite a high flyer. Has had some spectacular dunks this season, but we're not going to get to see it right here because the Moon Tigers fouled him en route to the basket.
So Maurice Briggs will head to the line here. First shot out for Briggs is good. It's good to have a little bit of foul shooting practice.
Especially for Maurice Briggs, where you have a situation where it's not exactly the strongest point of his game. And as I say that, he knocks down his 4th straight from the line.
Friendly roll off the front rim, make it a 20-point lead for Norristown, 50-30. Still 19.6 seconds to go in the game. All right, Moon High School, 14 seconds left in their season. The shot there is up and good for 3.
Makes the final score look a little bit closer. That's all it really does. The Moon Tigers refuse to just let the clock run out. I don't know, they should probably end their agony right now, but again, extending their season as long as they possibly can in this situation.
So 4.1 seconds on the clock. Juan Chapman will go to line and shoot 2. Chapman sinks the first.
Juan Chapman, nicknamed Chichi, the 5'7" senior guard.
And Chapman sinks the second, 52-33. Norristown. And that's the end of the game, and Norristown will go to State College for the district champion, for the, state championship. 52-33 is your final here at Shippensburg University.
And the last we heard from the Palestra was that it was the end of the first quarter and the Chester Clippers had the 8-point lead over the Pennsbury Falcons. So we'll see how that game plays out as it is still in progress right now. And the winner of that game will play these Eagles on Saturday at the Bryce Jordan Center at Penn State University. The celebration begins for the Eagles, but they still have one more game to go.
It's going to be a big game. This is going to be their toughest challenge yet. A state championship would be nice. They've gotten to the game. Now they just have to focus on that final game and prepare for it. And they'll be in good shape if they continue to do the things that they did tonight and expand upon that.
Well, this is it. This is the reason you play, to win a state championship. There is no greater reward than winning a state championship. That's the highest honor a team can receive in high school basketball. If they win that game, they are the best team in 4A PIAA basketball in Pennsylvania. And they have a very good chance of playing Chester, who they've already seen. And if they don't play Chester, they'll play Pennsbury, who they also already saw. They won against Pennsbury 50-45, but could not beat Chester as they lost by 14 in the District 1 final.
It's been an exciting run, and it continues. We hope to see you up at State College. Make the trip. I know Mark will be up there. And we got a couple people to thank. We want to thank Matt Fulmer, who did our camera work for tonight's game, and especially want to thank everybody involved at the high school who's made our production of this game possible to come out here and do these games, especially on the road. And we continue to film here as we move to State College. So, Mark, it's been just a wonderful time.
It's really it's been an exciting season, and it all comes to a conclusion on Saturday. The Eagles with the undefeated regular season, 24-0, and then their run to the district final where they won their first 4 games and then lost in the last round to Chester. And now here they are winning the first 4 games of states to get to the state championship game. And the exciting run continues. It's just been a very special season. This is a season that only happens about once every 20, 30, 40 years.
Well, again, the final score is Norristown 52, Moon High School 33. For Mark Kolodinsky, I'm Steve Acavino. We hope to see you at State College. Take care, everyone. See you there.